Hey everybody, this is Andrew Brown, and I'm going to attempt this week's Google Clout Challenge. Now, I missed the first three, but luckily I can come in on the fourth. So there are 10 challenges in total, and so this one in particular is all about Cloud Spanner. So let's get to it. If we can beat it under 5 minutes, we'll beat out Stephanie. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that, but we'll give it our go anyway. So I am on the page here, so I'm just kind of looking for where the link is to start. So check in every Wednesday. So we'll try clicking this link here. And here we are on the Google Cloud Set 5 challenge. So 4 out of 10. I don't know what the first three are, but that is okay. And we can have a conversation over in the Google Cloud community. So I might write something in there afterwards. So if you do the challenge, I'd like to hear about it from you as well. But what we'll do is make sure we're enrolled. So you'll say enroll in this quest. I'm going to connect with my Google account. So I'm clicking the Google button. And I'm already enrolled, so we're already good to go. So I'm going to click into here. As you see, I did set 1. Set 5, they just seem to be 1 a week, so it's a bit different in terms of format. So we'll click into this challenge, and we'll give it a bit of a read here. So change streams for Cloud Spanner. So right away, I'm thinking, well, Cloud Spanner is a managed SQL database. And streams would mean something like being able to stream reads and writes to other services. And in this case, it looks like they want to stream data into Bigquery. That kind of makes sense if you want to analyze it. So maybe you're using your Cloud Spanner as your primary database, and then you want to send data over to Bigquery. So let's give this a read here. So in this challenge, you'll use Cloud Spanner change streams features to update a table in BigQuery. You must create a Cloud Spanner instance for the metadata generated by the data flow job, which will import the change stream data into BigQuery. You must also create a BigQuery target data set, the Cloud Spanner change stream, and the data flow job using Cloud Spanner change streams BigQuery template. So a Cloud Spanner instance named orders has been created for you dynamically in the selected lab startup region. In that instance is a database named orders.db, and in that database an empty table named orders. Now this is going to be fun for me because I don't use Cloud Spanner a lot. I've used BigQuery. I've made data sets, but I feel like I can transfer my existing knowledge over to Google Cloud and figure it out okay. We get the schema for the table. So let's read what our requirements are. So you need to perform the following task. Create the following Google Cloud resources. Create a small single node Cloud Spanner instance named Cloud Spanner Meta Instance in the dynamically created lab startup region. Create a Cloud Spanner database named Cloud Spanner Meta Database in the Cloud Spanner Meta Database instance you just created. I don't know what a metadatabase is, but we'll find out soon. Create a BigQuery dataset in your lab project locally in the dynamically selected region. Create a Cloud Spanner change stream, name this. Create and run the regional data flow named job stream job. You must use Cloud Spanner change streams to BigQuery template. You must dynamically select the data flow regional endpoint. And the instructions here are really good. Before, we didn't get that much information, but in this case, we're getting a lot more than the original Clout challenges. So I'm pretty excited to start this one. So I'm going to click the Start Lab button. I doubt I will beat that 5 minutes. But you know, for me, the outcome is to being able to achieve it or feel that I've learned something, and then even if I don't pass, I'm okay. I just want to learn something new. So we'll give it a moment here to spin up the environment. It says less than a minute, which is pretty darn fast. Other environments sometimes take 2 to 5 minutes, so if it's under a minute, that will be great. But we'll give it a moment to figure it out, and while that is going, we'll go down. Oh, there it is. So we'll get to it. So we'll open up our environment here. We'll hit next. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this in a Cognito tab. I always find that is a better choice because then it doesn't mess up if I'm already logged into something here. So we'll say connect here, and I'll grab the password into here. Okay, and then I will say I understand. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, yeah, we agree. I'm going to drag the instructions off screen. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. But what I want to do here is just drag this off screen here, and then I'll drag it onto screen when we need to see it, okay? So this is all expanded, so we'll go through the instructions here. The first thing is create the following resources. Create a small single node Cloud Spanner instance. So I'm going to assume we have to go over to Cloud Spanner. Not sure what region we're in, but that's okay. And whoops, I did not want to go to any instructions there. We'll click back. or we'll just open this tab here. It must have hit some kind of thing here. That's totally fine. So we have a spanner order instance. And so here it says, create the following resources, create a small single node cloud spanner instance named meta order in the US Central 1 region. Okay, so we'll say create an instance. And the instance name has to be called meta order. I'm just copying and pasting. I'm assuming the instance ID should be the same. And just for those who are watching, I'm going to bump this up a bit here to make it a little bit easier on your eyes. And I realize that I might be covering part of the screen here, so I have to be careful about that. Choose a configuration. So it's supposed to be in Central 1 region. So it's going to be regional. And so I think we can type Central 1. Nope, we got to scroll. That's okay. And I'm looking for Central 1. Central 1. US Central 1. Okay, so it's probably down at the bottom. US Central 1. There it is, Iowa, and it's energy efficient, so that's good. Allocate our compute capacity. Let me see if there's anything here. So it's not saying we have anything in particular, so it just says create the instance. Create a Cloud Spanner database. So create a small single node Cloud Spanner instance, and then create the database. So that looks good. I'm not sure what we should change it to. I'm going to leave it to 1,000. There's some instructions here that kind of help you decide. I'm fine with that. We'll create this. If the timer runs out, doesn't matter. We'll just start it up again. All right, so looks like our instance has been created. And so now we need to create a database. So we have no databases here. So we'll go ahead and create a database. And I have used Spanner before, but not a lot. I was trying to set up Postgres with it, and I didn't have the luck that I wanted to, which is totally fine. And so they want it to be called meta-db. So we'll go ahead and say Google standard metadb. And we need to define a schema. So we'll go back here because they must need some kind of database in this. So we'll scroll up here. So a Cloud Spanner instance named orders has been created for you in US Central 1 region. In that instance, the database orders DB, and that database has an empty table named whatever. Okay, that's totally fine. So create a small node. It doesn't say to put in any stuff, but I would think like if we are streaming one to another, then there could be the case. So let's go back up and read this a bit more because clearly I'm missing something here. In the challenge, you're using Cloud Spanner change streams features to update a table in Bigquery. You must create a Cloud Spanner instance for the metadata generated by a Dataflow job, which will import the job stream. Okay, so we have to create an adjacent database for that. But I wonder if we need the same schema. So that's okay. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll create it without a schema. It says it's optional, so we'll see how that goes. And maybe it will just work. But I would think that if we're streaming data, but maybe the data format for the stream is not the same as the database. That would make sense, right? Because it would look something different. So create a Cloud Spanner database named metadb. We just did that. Create a Bigquery dataset in your lab project for US Central 1. Okay, so what I'll do is open a new tab so things are a little bit easier on us. And we'll make our way over to Bigquery. Let's go to Bigquery here. So got it. And we have a project here. And sometimes I get confused about adding data sets. I think there's like 2 different ways of doing it, or at least, yeah. See, it says add data, but we actually want to create a data set. So we'll right click here. I always see that add data. I want to click it. So I'll click on that. And I mean, it's the only thing that's here. Are we in Central 1? That's another question. How do we know? I'm going to assume we're in Central 1 because there's something here. I don't know how we know we're in Central 1, but that's okay. So create a BigQuery dataset in your lab project, locate in Central 1. Okay, maybe, all right, BigQuery is like a serverless service, so it's probably everywhere. And then when we create the dataset, we'll probably have to say where it goes. So let's say spanner stream. Okay. What about data? Oh, this is where we need to pick it. So we say US Central. This is why I was trying to type earlier, because I'm so used to typing filters, but not all the interfaces are like that. Default age, I don't think matters. Advanced options, I don't think that matters. Enable table expiration, I don't think that matters. So we'll create the data set because this is all going to get teared down anyway, so it does not matter. Create a Cloud Spanner change stream named order stream on the orders table described in the introduction. So they said that there was a Cloud Spanner instance that already existed. And so if we go back to all instances, got it. We have an orders, one here. So that's pretty clear. And we'll click into the database. change streams, it's new. Okay, and I love learning new features. So Spanner change streams lets you watch and capture changes within your database in real-time streams. Sounds good to me. Let's create a stream. And so it says create a Cloud Spanner stream named order streams, orders. Okay, so we'll name it that. Well, how do we name it? Here. Okay. So we'll put it in here. I'm being like silly, like as if I don't know. It's not that hard. Create a Cloud Spanner named order streams on the orders table described in the introduction. This table was created for you when the lab was started. From stream definition, I don't know if we could just put orders. I feel like that's probably not right. I would probably want to read a bit more about this. So what we'll do is open this new tab. I'm going to assume this takes us to streams. Because I can't imagine it's that simple. You just put the word orders. That'd be super easy. So it says create change stream order stream for orders. So this is the syntax language. I'm just going to check our time. Our time here is 12 minutes. We're doing okay. I don't mind if we have to restart this. It's not a big deal. So I'm looking for, just say create change stream. So I'm trying to figure out the database name conventions. Because we might have an instance, but then we have the ID. See, they just have it that simple, just like the table. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go with just orders. I think that might just work. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create that. I mean, they did write orders here, so I think they're trying to make it really easy for us. Create and run the regional data flow job named job stream. So it sounds like they already have a data flow set up for us. It's updating the schema, so we probably should wait for that. That finished pretty quick. I don't know if the data flow is connected any other way, so I'm just going to type in data flow, and I'm going to assume that there's a data flow job over there. We'll go to jobs, and we'll say got it. I don't see any jobs here, so maybe it's a pipeline. Well, it's enabled, that's for sure. Let's go back here. I don't have to create the job, do I? Create and run regional data flow job named stream job. It says create and run. Okay, so what we'll do is go to jobs, and we'll say create a job from a template, because there's no other option, right? Data flow template, because maybe we already have a template. We do. Cloud Spanner change streams to Bigquery. Well, there we go. Pretty darn easy. Stream job. Good. And then we have to enter in a bunch of stuff. Okay, so the Cloud Spanner instance IDs, the Spanner instance to read changes from. So, and by the way, how are we doing for time? 10 minutes. I'm not gonna beat Steph, but to be fair, I am recording this, so we'll say that adds a bit of time on there. I'll open up a new tab because I need to see what I'm doing here. And we're gonna go over to Spanner. And we will choose, the data is coming from orders. And Spanner instance ID. Oh, it's super easy. It's just orders. So silly. The Cloud Spanner database is called OrdersDB. Again, super simple naming. Cloud Spanner metadata instance ID. It's really interesting you have to have an additional database for that. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just don't understand. So that's called metadata. I don't think I'll type that wrong, so we'll type metadata. And then the name of the database, MetaDB. Okay. The Cloud Spanner change stream name. We'll click on our database to find that. We'll go to the change stream. Where's my change stream? Did I not make one? Oh, you know what? Sorry, it's in the it's in here. It's in the orders because that's where we're supposed to create it. At least that's where I think we're supposed to create it. If it's not, then I'm I'm not reading carefully. Okay, so we'll go back over here and we'll paste that in there. BigQuery dataset. We'll go back to BigQuery. That's called Spanner Stream. Wow, this is super easy. I assume everything else is okay. We'll just look at the the other options. A lot of stuff in here. I don't know if we have to configure that. We're going to go ahead and hit run job. If this works, that'll be great. Okay, so you must use the Cloud Spanner change stream in BigQuery template. Yeah, we did that. You must use US Central 1 as the data flow regional endpoint. I think I chose that, right? Did we do that? Here's the job, US Central 1. Okay, good. It's queued. Is there like a refresh button here to watch jobs? Execution details. It looks like it's queued. This is why I need Anthony. If I had Anthony on stream, he could help me real good here. So it's paused right now. It's queued. So I assume we just wait. How are we doing for time? 8 minutes. So create and run. So I created it. That doesn't mean I'm running it though. How do I run it? It must just want to run, right? Stream job. Pipelines? Okay. How to run a data flow job. Well, there's the run command here, but within the UI. Okay. Well, I don't know where it is in the interface, but we do seem to be able to find the SDK, so I'll just use the SDK. Maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't know. So what I'll do is open this up here. Oh, this is cute, and it's just going to run when it runs, but we're low on time, so I want to make sure that this works. And if I click into it, sometimes like Google likes to just give you like one-click things to, wait, what about here? Nope. Oh, it's running. Okay, maybe we didn't have to do anything. We just had to be patient. All right, so that's our problem. We didn't have to manually run it. Okay, so we'll wait for it to run. And while it's going, we'll read some stuff here. So you must configure the job to track changes in the orders DB table database and the orders Cloud Spanner instance. Using the new instance database you created for the change stream metadata and et cetera, insert the data into the orders table to trigger the change stream logging process. Oh, we have to insert data? You must use Cloud Spanner change stream to BigQuery template. You must use Central 1. You must configure the job to track changes. Insert data into the orders table to trigger the change stream. Okay, so it sounds like maybe this is gonna, oh, this is streaming. Okay, so it's waiting probably for some kind of change. So we do need to import some data. So I'm thinking if we go to queries, what table am I in? Orders table, great. We could just probably run a query to insert some data. So let's go up here and take a look at the database schema. So here's the database schema. I can never ever remember SQL, which is totally fine. So we'll look it up. So insert SQL statement. I'm going to assume that it's all the same. It's probably like Google's flavor of SQL, but we should be fine. So we'll type in insert, and probably it will give us some autocomplete, unless there's some SQL shortcuts. No, there's not. And it looks like there's like format information here if we type it wrong. So we'll say insert into orders. A little bit delayed on my computer. I don't know why it's a bit delayed here. It's probably just my computer. Insert orders into, insert into orders. And I'm going to put the column names here. So I don't think we need to give the order ID because a lot of times that's incrementing. So we'll say customer ID, order date, price, product ID. I'm going to hope that this one is incrementing. I don't know. I mean, if it errors out, we'll know, right? And we'll say values, and then we'll put our values in. So customer ID will be 8888. And then the order date is actually a date. So we'll say 2022, 2022. What is the month? What's the day today? 0802. 0802. And I'm going to assume it's isometric. It's probably isometric. And then we have the price. It is an int. So we will put the price 12 because 12 sounds great. Product ID could be 8080. I'm going to assume we're not going to hit any conflicts. By doing that, we'll hit a semicolon. It still has an error. It doesn't like something. So I've clearly done something wrong. I'm just waiting to see what it's going to tell me that I did wrong. It doesn't like something. And if we don't know, we can say query help here. I'm going to just check my time. 3 minutes. Wow, it's really getting tight here. So we'll go over here, and I'm looking for insert. Insert. Where's insert? Insert into my table. No, that's what I'm doing. Maybe because I gave it a new line here. Well, it looks like it's right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to have faith of the heart, and we're going to hit run. I'm just going to hope that works. So order ID must not be null in the... Okay, so we do have to set one here. Order ID. I don't know what the last one is. I guess we could query for it. So what I'm going to do is just cut out this query. I'm going to just paste it somewhere else off screen here for a moment. I'm going to say select all from orders. Okay. Probably have to type it right to get the results. Run. Oh, you know what? There's probably no data in here. Okay, so I think we're safe. So what I'll do is I'll go back here and I'll just say, oh, you know what? I said I was going to put it in. I'm so silly. Anyway, that could be auto-incrementing. I don't know. I'm just going to put the value in. Okay, so I've inserted a row. We'll go back to Spanner. Or not Spanner. We'll go back to our data flow job. And, I mean, it's streaming, so it must be working. I guess the way we would know is if we went into Bigquery and we queried the data. So, you know what I'm going to do? I just want to see if I've actually passed. Because we can still look while we're looking. Let's go down here. It says, if you have configured everything correctly, you will now see rows appearing in a new table named order change log in your data set that contains the metadata. I'm going to hit progress because that might take a bit of time. And while that is going, I'm going to go check if it worked. So in my data set here, please insert some test data into orders table to trigger the change stream log process. Okay, so maybe it didn't work. Was it's running? How do we debug this stream? Let's click into here. Wow, that looks cool. I don't know what all those things are, but fun numbers here. Job metrics. We'll go down below here. I'm trying to figure out, I'm just going to go back to regular size for a second so I can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to figure out where I would see information going through it. Like, how would I know? I guess what we could do is just change some values here. And see what happens. Okay, let's go back to our data flow job. Current workers, one target. I think something changed, right? What I'm going to do here is just insert a bunch of data. So say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not going to get this done on first pass, by the way. We're going to have to try again. But that's okay. That means we could beat Steph's score because I don't think it will count the first one. Okay, so I'm inserting a bunch of data. I want to make sure I don't lose this. So I'm just going to grab this off screen. I'm just pasting my script off screen so I don't have to type it again. And I'm going to go back over to data flow. See, I have no idea what all these lines mean. It's backlog, processing. I have no idea what I'm looking at. And that's totally okay. It's a new feature, so I don't feel bad. 14 seconds left on the clock. And I mean, I like this lab so far. Love the instructions. I just need to pass. Okay, so what we'll do, so this one was a bust. That's totally fine. So what I'm going to do is close this all out. Repetition's a great way to learn. So we'll start this lab again. I'll open a new incognito tab. Move this off screen. And the environment should be spun up pretty quick here. We're like, not seeing your score, wait for 3 minutes. Maybe just read some of the tips here. If you have configured everything correctly, you'll now see roles appearing in the new table. So we must have configured something incorrectly. So I'm gonna get the link here, copy link address. We'll paste it on in here, we'll log in. I have no idea how Steph did this in less than 5 minutes. We'll say, I understand. And we'll get to it. So, say, I agree, I agree. The first thing we need to do is go over to Cloud Spanner. Step 1. We'll say, got it. Okay, great. North Carolina, that's that one in. Okay, so we'll create a new instance. This one is going to be called, create a new instance called Meta and US East 1. US East 1. I feel like I didn't do an East. Oh, you know what? Probably changes for each one that I do, right? So it was central before, now to US East 1. They told me that might happen. So now we're in US East 1. That's totally fine. This looks fine. Meta. We'll just make sure it's the same name here. Instance ID. Okay, we'll go ahead and create that. Off screen, I'm just going to say like instance ID. I'm just going to write them in here so I don't have to. Instance ID, meta. Okay. Then we need to create a database. So we'll say create database. Create the database. Standard. So go down there and create that. Database name. MetaDB. Okay. Create a Bigquery dataset in your lab project. So we'll go over to Bigquery. Open a new tab so we can go move fast. Are we going there or what? And we'll create a new data set. We'll go grab the name while it's loading here. So stream meta. So new data set. Yep, that's good. Location will be US East 1. AWS US East 1. How do we get that? Okay, so we'll say create database. Okay, data set. I'm just doing that off screen here. Stream metadata. Create a Cloud Spanner change stream named order streams on the orders table. So we will go back to our instances here. We'll go into our orders table. We'll go into the orders DB. We'll go into change streams. We're going to create a change stream. We're going to name the change stream order stream. And the stream definition will be orders. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there's information on the right-hand side. How silly of me. So I'm just seeing if there's something like sample data for... I don't know. So what we'll do is we'll say create or submit this data. I mean, if it failed, it like if that didn't work, it would tell us here, I think. So I do think it works. Create a cloud stream, order stream, then create a regional data flow stream job. So while we're waiting for this, it's already there. We'll go over to jobs. I'll type data flow. I feel like if I opened those tabs in the beginning, I could have even gone faster. So we'll create a job. I do want to create one from a template. Oh, it always lets us choose that. So our job name will be called stream job. Make sure there's no space on the end there. This needs to be, it doesn't say, but I'm going to assume it needs to be in US East 1. See here, it doesn't have the type, which is totally fine. Cloud Spanner to Bigquery. And then we have our parameters. So our Spanner instance ID. Oh, this is orders. And then that would be orders again. And this is meta. And then it's MetaDB. And then the stream name is called, well, the data set's called stream data, but the change stream, what's the change stream called? I didn't write that one down. Order streams. Notice like when it copies the space. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to just check the optional options here. Cloud Spanner project ID. Yeah, see, all this stuff is optional. We don't need this stuff. We'll go ahead and hit run job. Okay, and while that is starting up, we have our data off screen here that I can use. You can now force cancel the jobs. I don't want to force cancel no jobs here. I want to see my job. I think I'm in my job right now. So I'll go back here. It's a bit easier to see it on this page. And we're waiting for this to run. It might take a little bit of time. I don't know how Steph would have had to create the stream job so fast. I don't know how she done it in under 5 minutes. If you configured everything correctly, you'll now see rows appearing in a new table named orders changelog in your Bigquery dataset that contains the metadata. So there must be some way to explore the dataset. Do you think I would know? Because I do this all the time. Stream meta. Is that the name of the dataset? Create a data flow. Yeah, stream data. But wouldn't you have to like create a schema under there? Yeah, so a table called orders change logs. That's what we're expecting to see. So that's what's supposed to generate. That's why I couldn't say anything. So go over back here and we'll refresh here. I would love it this to work here. I'm not sure why it takes so long to spin up. Just remember last time I didn't do anything. It just started after a while. I'm just clicking around for fun. Enable data pipelines. And while we're waiting for that, let's keep reading here, see if we can uncover anything. You must use Cloud Spanner. You must use US East 1. You must configure the job to track changes in the orders DB database on the orders. This is orders DB here. Uh-oh, did I name something wrong? Let's go back to orders. Uh-oh. I think, let's go check the details here on the stream job, how I configured it. Overview. Jobs, click into this job. Where are my settings for this? I don't remember now what I set it as. I don't have confidence that I called it orders DB. I almost feel like I wrote orders twice. So I don't trust this job, even though I made it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this job, cancel it. But how can I create another job with the same name? Dang. I definitely messed up the names. If I have to do this twice, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to write these out so I don't make this mistake again. So we have the... I'll do this in the order so it's a bit easier for me here. Because this is where I'm messing up. I'm just writing things in wrong. So Cloud Spanner instance ID. Cloud Spanner instance ID. This is going to be orders. Then the Cloud Spanner database. This is supposed to be orders DB. We have the Cloud Spanner metadata instance ID. This is called meta. Then we have the Cloud Spanner metadata database. This is called MetaDB. I don't know, is this called meta or meta database? No, it's called meta. MetaDB. We have the Cloud Spanner change stream. This will be called order streams. Orders stream. And then we have the data flow job name, which we don't need to put here. I'll put it above here. Data flow job stream, which will be called stream jobs. So I'm getting better. Oh, the data set should be called Stream data, that's right. Which we do Bigquery dataset. Because I don't have confidence in what I wrote here. So what we'll do is we'll go back up to here, refresh. It still says it's queued. Oh man, that's annoying. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, okay. So I think it's done now. It canceled. Probably didn't work because I didn't configure it right. Okay, so the name is called Stream Jobs. It has to be US East 1. We'll choose the BigQuery template. We will choose, whoops, I clicked off here for a second. We'll choose orders as the instance ID, orders DB as the database name. We'll choose meta as the instance ID, metadb as the database. The stream name is called orders stream with a double S on it. And we have stream metadata. And we will go ahead and create this job, and hopefully it does not complain about there being the same name. So now we just have to wait for this thing to start, which seems to take forever. And yeah, we'll just wait here, and hopefully this time around we'll get it right. How long for data flow job to run? Data flow targets clearing the backlog in approximately 150 seconds. How long does it take to start one? Your data flow job is getting slow because the time needed to start the VM Google Compute engines grow with the number of VMs. Oh, okay. Does that mean it's launching a virtual machine behind here? Like if I check that, would I see one under compute engines? I don't think so. I think it's a managed service, so you don't really see what's happening, right? Nope. Nothing there. That's just an empty tab. So we're just waiting for the stream to start. And while we're waiting, I'm going to go into the orders table here, orders DB. And we're going to go in here, and I'm going to query some data. Like, I'm sure it hasn't worked yet, but I just want to run something. Call me superstitious. I just feel like if I run it, it'll work for some reason. So I'm just going to prep one here with 1. So we'll go here, and we will, if it will let me paste here today. Paste. Come on. Copy. Paste. There we go. Okay, run. Inserted row. I assume this hasn't started yet. Oh, okay, it's streaming. Great. So I have a lot more over here, but what we'll do is we'll just increment this. We'll say 2, run, 3, run, 4, run, 5, run. So we're just running some data. I don't think change streams is going to show us anything if we go in here. Orders all watch. It's watching on all properties, I guess. Yeah, watch table name orders. Okay, that's good. That's what the table's called, right? I'm just looking for our instructional screen here. Yeah, the table's called orders. So let's go back to BigQuery. Do I have any metadata yet here? Or table? Did it work? Now, I could create a table in here. It never told me to do that, though. Let me just check here. If you convert everything, you'll now see rows appearing in a new table. Yeah, see, it doesn't indicate that I have to create the table. So if I go over to here, how do I know if this... Whoa, this looks different. I guess we never saw this before. Wow. Okay. Says it's running. Throughput. We'll go back into the database query. Run. I think I saw some data, right? So what I'm going to do, it's just so fast I can't tell. So what I'm going to do, let's move these around for a second. We need to make this one bigger, this one smaller, because I think something's passing through, right? And that's how we'll know if it works. Or at least that's my theory. So we'll go here, and I'm going to put a 7 on here. We'll hit run. We'll hit run. Maybe it just refreshed on us. Geez, I can't tell. Okay, so what we'll do is open this tab up here again. I'm going to hit the button. We did everything. I know it hasn't worked yet, but I'm going to hit the button anyway. Oh, it says I did it. Okay, so let's go back and confirm. We have like 4 minutes on the clock, so let's just take a look here and see what we didn't see in our BigQuery table. So go here to BigQuery. I still don't see any tables. And maybe we should just refresh. Give this a refresh here. Oh, there it is. Hooray! And my time sucks, okay? So definitely did not beat Steph. No way, no how. But I'm really glad that I did pass. Yeah, and there we go. So I'll see you in the next challenge. Every challenge is released every Wednesday. Let's go back to the original instructions so we can see here. So the Google Clout Challenge is a no-cost weekly 20-minute hands-on challenge every Wednesday for the next 10 weeks. A new challenge will be posted on our website. So there's 10 challenges, so every Wednesday. So there's going to be one tomorrow. I'm obviously going to release this on Wednesday because I don't want to give away the answer, I suppose. Yeah, there you go. So, enjoy that. And yeah, see you in the next challenge.